Man, fuck South Africans.
If they're not in the field picking up cotton for the master.
You guys like Flintstones. Y'all don't even have a car. Y'all still rolling with y'all feet.
Doesn't South Africa export a shit ton of food and wine to America? In essence, we feed you bitches.
Why are you out here saying all these crazy things about black people in America?
Yeah, African American brothers and sisters, whatever you do not get into any kind of social media wars with Nigerians, South Africans, and Kenyans.
Oh, so fabulous. Hi guys, welcome to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here once again. Welcome back. So it is very necessary that I give a disclaimer today because some of us could get really upset. So as usual, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching out anybody that I talk about today in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comments, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So this is kind of like a part 2 to the first video that I made about the Zulu parade, because it's been a viral conversation on the internet, from Twitter to TikTok, and it's been a kind of diaspora war between our South African people of the Zulu nation. They corrected me in the comment section of the last video that they are a nation, not just a tribe, but they are South Africans, and New Orleans people in our African American community in America. So just in case you want to know all the details and the background, please watch the first video that I made. That is it right there. You will see it over there on my channel. But to give a brief rundown, the Zulu parade is a sort of carnival that has been happening historically in New Orleans, America, by the black people there from the early 1900s, and that is how they celebrate their black heritage. But the South African people got to find out about it recently and are upset because they believe it is not a true representation of their Zulu tribe, especially because there is blackface being used. That's just a brief summary of the whole diaspora war. A lot of people have been chiming in, giving their opinion, but there was this very video that I saw, and you guys, my jaw dropped because this lady went in. Let me just go right ahead and play the video.
They not like us.
Now, looking at that video, you can see that she's cosplaying, in quote, what she thinks is the black American ancestors with the way she's dressed.
Oh, hell nah. My map done grew out.
And then the most shocking part is the fact that she has cotton in her hands, obviously trying to reference the picking of cotton by the enslaved African people in America. And even the other part where she talked about the map in her hair, because historically everybody knows that the ancestors of the current black American people today used to draw maps in their cornrows for them to be able to memorize escape routes from the plantations and all of that. So obviously this is someone who is trying to be offensive to African Americans as a kind of clapback because of the way the New Orleans people have responded to South Africans when they express their outrage about the Zulu parade.
So come to find out, South Africa got a problem with us having a Zulu parade. Come stop the motherfucker. We're not gonna talk to y'all. We don't give a fuck what you think. You have to show us. And since we know you ain't coming down here to stop nothing about the Zulu parade, continue to be mad then, bitch.
South Africa. First of all y'all known for right now is what's the man named Nelson Mandela? Who else? And I'm a piano. And jumping around and popping your legs like a spider. That's what y'all known for. Nobody cares what you think. You know why we don't care what you think? Because you don't care to learn our culture. You don't care. You're jealous because we have more electricity and we have more resources than you over here in America, babies.
A lot of people from New Orleans were not really willing to accept the fact that Zulu people had a right to feel offended about the way their name was being used and the way their culture was being misrepresented by the Zulu parade. And they were clapping back at the Zulu people, talking about how this is our culture, we celebrated it for this long, we're not changing anything, you should learn about our culture. And you know, basically the South African people saw this as being disrespectful, and the conversation is still heated even right now as we speak. But you see, this very video that I just played, I feel like this was below the belt, because I'm so embarrassed. Why do we feel the need to stoop so low?
PVL Drizzy. My name's Shakisha, yo, and I'm a businesswoman. I got 4 businesses. I sell lashes, I sell hair, I sell nails, and I'm an exotic dancer. What? Told my baby daddy in jail?
You thought you ate with that comment, ne? But then you forget that you gotta have your workers in different fields. If they're not in the field picking up cotton for the master or inventing some great technology, then they must be producing music to entertain the master. You are working for me there, producing music so that I can be entertained. You are for my entertainment.
There's been different comments that I've read, from both sides, trying to be offensive to each other. You see the Black American people telling South African people how instead of fighting over Zulu parade, they should go and deal with the palm-colored people that are taking over their country.
Y'all need to worry about the colonizers that y'all still have there, y'all living with. Talking about black people are getting killed by the police and making fun of that. You guys are ignorant and you guys are dumb. Why you still kicking dust? You guys like Flintstones. Y'all don't even have a car. Y'all still rolling with y'all feet.
So I got a question. This is the last time I'm gonna even entertain y'all, at least I think, for all the butthurt South Africans. If I, as a Black American, can thrive in my country, being a minority, what's y'all excuse? What lies y'all telling yourself as to why y'all oppressed, as to why y'all lowly, as to why y'all got the short end of the stick? Well, at least us Black Americans, at least we got a little excuse. What's y'all excuse? What's the excuse why y'all on the bottom in your own country?
Also talking about how they do not have good water and roads and electricity in South Africa, and some of those things basically to make them feel less than. And on the other hand, South Africans too are clapping back, talking about how Black people in America, your survival depends on the mood of the police, and talking about incarceration, talking about baby mama culture and all the negative stereotypes.
Don't forget your school book, ne? Watch out for the popo! Watch out for the police! Hey yo, record this and send it to my man, I don't know about school, man. All I know about selling some bricks, man. Give me some watermelon there and some fried chicken to eat, man, with some collard green, man. Y'all getting some collard green?
It has basically just become a conversation about who can hit each other lower, below the belt, who can upset the other, who can make the other person feel less than. And it is so embarrassing. We are doing it on the internet in the full glare of everybody. So much so that even some of the, I'm going to go there, even the palm-colored people in South Africa are beginning to insert themselves into the conversation, talking about, we are going to defend our countrymen.
First of all, I feel like it's very, very insulting for the people who are actually Zulu here in South Africa. And as a South African, I can tell you now that the way you paraded how Zulu, the way you say it, people are, it's actually far from it. And now you're making videos and you're targeting the wrong nation, my bro. You're targeting the wrong people because somehow we always find a way to stand united on things that we need to stand united on.
Firstly, I just want to tell you it's Zulu, not Zulu. And then secondly, I saw that some gypsy woman threatened us with voodoo. We eat voodoo for breakfast. My bra, julle gaan getoer word. Yo, are you ready? Are you ready?
And I'm like, hey, hello, hold it, please. Who invited you? This is a family conversation.
I know a lot of people will swear at me for this and hurl abuses at me. I don't give a f***, but I'll stand by what I'm saying right now. Siding with white South Africans against African Americans is a huge betrayal. I'm not saying people shouldn't be outraged about this whole Zulu thing, but it's been taken way out of proportion now. We're making fun of each other's pain and making jokes about it. Fine, if humor is the way that people deal with such things, it's okay, it's fine. But my problem is when you start siding with white South Africans against African Americans on an internal issue between Africans. We can have beef with each other as black people, but we must never forget who our true enemies are. And I'm not talking about all white South Africans, because I know we always have to be sensitive to white feelings. Obviously, I'm not talking about all white South Africans, but still, we have to be careful not to take things out of proportion. If you're so angry about this parade, there's the Crew of Zulu website, there's the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club website. You can vent out, there's phone numbers, you can call, you can make petitions. But this thing of making fun of each other's pain has to stop.
So we have brought our dirty linens outside to the internet. Everybody is seeing us drag each other. Everybody is seeing us talk about negative stereotypes about each other, even to the point of making mockery of enslaved ancestors. As in, how low can we go? I would never understand why a black person will make mockery of an enslaved African person. This is something I will never relate to. For the mere fact that when I think about how slavery happened, how these people were kidnapped in those days, I think about the fact that it could have been my ancestors. It could have been my great-great-grandfather that was kidnapped and taken and enslaved. So what is there to make mockery of? And to even look at it from another angle, yes, some of our people were kidnapped and taken and enslaved. But how about we back on the continent? Did we have it any easier? How many of us are in control of our countries and the wealth and the resources in our countries? How many years ago was it that we gained our independence? All the countries in Africa were colonized except one. And we're talking about 54 countries in total in Africa. Our children are working in mines, hands being cut off, genocides, a lot of things. We didn't have it any easier on the continent. So now, is this an Oppression Olympics, making fun of those that were enslaved, as if we had it any better? It's just ridiculous and absolutely childish, the turn that this whole diaspora war has taken, and it is such a shame. And the people who put us through all of this are watching us disgrace ourselves and embarrass ourselves on the internet. Aside that video, I saw another video.
Somebody asked me to talk about this whole Zulu parade in America, bruv. I didn't know shit about it until now, so I did a little bit of digging. So apparently there is this parade that they've been doing for a very long time. It's called a Zulu parade. And African people, South Africans, because as you know, the Zulu tribe is in South Africa, they politely ask them to respect them because that's a disrespect to them and their culture. And there are some, let me say some, if you're not one of these Americans, keep quiet and listen. Some Americans who basically decided that they're going to ignore these people, say fuck off, and we're going to keep our parties anyways. And this is all I have to say to African people. Wherever in Africa you live, listen to what Shay has to say. You know how in the Bible it talks about how, you know, God is very, very slow to anger, how he's such a patient God. I'm not telling you to be God because that's blasphemy. I'm telling you to mimic him. Be the exact same way. The same way God, you will be here doing your fuckery and God will give you 10, if not 20, if not 50, if not 100 years to keep doing your fuckery until one day he cracks, bruv. Be the exact same way. Be exactly like that and give them their time. Don't get angry, don't say nothing. Keep watching them as they say and do their fuckery. Because right now, America is on their high horse. They think that they're untouchable. And they don't understand that, you see, war is inevitable. You see how America is behaving to the point where China, Japan, and South Korea have now band together. Even the British government is over here trying to control steel manufacturing because they're learning from World War II when there was a shortage of motherfucking steel. Russia will invade and war will start. And when war starts, they will need somewhere to go. And when that day comes, all you niggas have to do is remember every single time you asked them to respect you and they never did. They called you African booty scratchers. They were putting water in envelopes and cardboard boxes trying to post it to Africa. They came on here and disrespected your food and disrespected your culture and disrespected you. You asked them to stop labeling you as the Africans and they said fuck you and they keep doing it anyways. They went to Ghana and was twerking on Elmina Castle. Don't argue with them, nor do you try to educate them. You cannot educate the uneducatable. All you have to fucking do is remember all these things I told you on the day when them niggas are gonna need some form of refuge. And as you remember it, politely close your motherfucking borders. Good night.
That one, when, you know, I'm just speechless. When I heard that, I was like, okay, so what if the world is unstable now? What if we're at the brink of another world war or whatever? And if our diaspora people run to us in Africa for help, we are supposed to turn them down or refuse to offer them help because of the Zulu parade? How does it make any sense? Where is our brotherhood? Where is the spirit of togetherness? Where is our forgiveness? Where is our humanity? Where is our love for each other in the diaspora? How low can we sink? And then on the other hand, some people are even talking about voodoo.
If one of y'all from South Africa had even did a little research, you would have understood that New Orleans is ground zero for voodoo and hoodoo and other metaphysical occult religions and techniques and understanding. So you came all the way across the water to pick a fight with a bunch of voodoo children, like a bunch of voodoo children, a bunch of spiritualists that are into Yoruba African principles, you know, like Ifa and Haitian, because we're a mixture of cultures here. So you came and picked a fight with a bunch of voodoo kids. Ooh, yeah. And then you start calling us names, and then y'all came and picked a fight with us because we had a parade, like a celebration. We was having some fun, and y'all came over across the water and start bullying us. Y'all gonna learn that you can't just bully and pick on everybody, because we don't think like y'all think, you know. And y'all can laugh at us now, but trust me, you came and picked a fight with a whole bunch of voodoo kids.
Like, really? Are we threatening each other now with voodoo because of this internet beef? It's just a shame that we have to go this low and this far. I believe we should be able to have a reasonable discourse and come to a conclusion without dragging each other and disgracing ourselves on the internet. I really do hope that this opens an avenue for us to have the right conversations and bridge the gap, because I'm going to try and see the positive that could possibly come out of these conversations we are having now. And please, just a reminder, it is not all Black Americans that are in support of the Zulu parade. It is not even everybody from New Orleans that is in support of the Zulu parade. And it is not every South African that is stooping this low. So please, let's not generalize, and let's be kind in the comments. Let's be kind in the way we approach, we respond, we speak to each other, and we interact with each other. And I really feel like the organizers of the Zulu parade at this point should be doing something to kind of smoothing out this situation, to make sure that they do whatever it takes to preserve their culture while also respecting the Zulu people and what their tribe stands for. So I'm just going to be wrapping up this video here, and I'll be playing different commentary and reactions from people. You guys enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Alright, this is my 2 cents about the whole Zulu parade in New Orleans and the Zulu Nation, the South Africans going back and forth. I'm gonna be 100% honest. First of all, y'all not gonna put us all in the same fucking boat, okay? Them New Orleans niggas is different. They their own people, okay? Alright, so we're not gonna put all Black Americans in this shit, okay? I've never been in New Orleans. I've never been to Bourbon Street. I've never been down there. So I didn't even know what the fuck was going on until I actually went and looked. I do know about the Zulu Nation, everything that takes place over there, because I've been trying to appropriate myself with the culture. To see the New Orleans shit, bruh, y'all got to be fucking kidding me. That shit look like a clown show. That shit look like a mockery. That shit like some shit they made y'all do when y'all was in slavery to put on a fucking show for them. That shit ain't appropriate. And I side with the South Africans on this one.
South Africans, or should I say specifically Zulu people. I don't understand why you're not understanding the African Americans from an African perspective. You know what is going on with those people. They are like that child that is born under special circumstances, and they don't get to find out who their father is, who their name is, who their ancestors are, what their totem is, and they do not know who they are. Now their underground gang is busy calling them, but they don't know how to answer, and they have so many things going on in their lives, and so many things are going wrong, and they don't know how to fix it because they don't know who they are. And because they were raised elsewhere and they had no other choice, they now decided to call themselves by a different name, and they chose the Zulu, but they don't even know what the Zulu is or what it's about because they don't know who they are.
Alright, Diaspora, I'm gonna need us to come sit down and have us a little family meeting right quick, because I'm gonna need for all of our cousins in South Africa to come on this app and explain to me as to why we are making videos that are making fun of the Black American struggle, and why are we making videos that are making jokes and making light of the traumas that our ancestors have faced, because y'all are upset with Black Americans. Y'all are upset with the entirety of the Black American community over a parade that 90% of us didn't even know existed until yesterday. Like, I need to know why we are doing that. Because some of us on this side of the sea don't have nothing but love for y'all. And y'all came on this app and dragged our ancestors through the mud over something that had nothing to do with the rest of us. Like, y'all could have just made this about the city of New Orleans alone. Why did y'all have to drag the entirety of the black community into this? Like, I really need to know why.
Yo, it's late at night and I'm fucking cackling. You South Africans, I love you. I love you so much. The way you're cussing off the black Americans. They said the only thing they know about South Africa is Nelson Mandela and Mapiano. And then you guys come back with shout out to the police for doing their job. That's fucked up. And they're steady trying to defend blackface, which is so fucking ironic. Yoy. And this is what I've been trying to tell the rest of the house. There is no point. There is no point going back and forth. There is no point in trying to educate. There is no point in trying to create dialogue. Because as far as they're concerned, they're the only black people on the motherfucking planet.
So somebody told me to chime in on this South African beef with the American black individual. Look, let me tell y'all something. Black America are envied. We're envied. Across the whole world, we're envied. People hate what they don't understand, but they also hate what they can't be. So a lot of people fight and they claw and they literally put in all this effort to be who they are not. We don't have to do that. Like, we are uniquely crafted. Everybody across the world wants everything that we do. Whatever we put our hands to, it prospers. Whatever we put our hands to, it succeeds. Whatever we communicate, whatever we put out there, everybody starts jumping on it. We have a key and everybody hates it. So look, this is nothing new. South Africa is acting just like the rest of the world. South Africa is acting like the Europeans. South Africa is acting like the Chinese. South Africa is acting like the Australians. South Africa is acting like South America. South Africa is acting like Canada. They're acting like everybody in the world who see what we do and start jockeying. I don't have any hatred towards anybody who see what we do, love what we do, and accept it. The issue is that after they identified that down in Louisiana, they had a parade or something like that called the Zulu parade, South Africa just blew up, mad, angry. And they stopped talking about the parade and start talking about all the things they hate about us. They talked about how we were put in slavery, how we get unalived by police officers here in the United States and all this other stuff. So they got real diabolical. And they let us know that it was stemmed from something more than just the Zulu thing. There's some envy.
South Africans, y'all okay? Ain't nobody even on here arguing with y'all because it didn't give what y'all thought it was giving. But I see y'all just want to jump on the bandwagon. First it was the black Brits. Now it's y'all making fun of slavery. Okay. Then I see the Caribbean people laughing. We're in the same boat, but okay. I never knew you could culturally appropriate from other black people when you're black. I never knew that. But the New Orleans parade, Zulu been going on forever. And it's not to mock no South African Zulu. It's not even the same. Y'all heard it, y'all didn't care. Oh, I'm real Zulu. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I get, right? I get South Africans. Y'all really upset about that Zulu parade stuff in the South and in America. I get that. So y'all clap back as making fun of the Atlantic slave trade? To my South Africans, right? Miss South Africa is white. Y'all need to focus more on that. They're trying to make fun of black Americans going through the Atlantic slave trade, respectfully. Miss South Africa is white.
So I just want to understand something, right? And I'm South African, by the way, but South Africa as a whole, Zulu people in particular, have informed you black Americans that that Zulu parade in New Orleans is offensive and it makes a mockery of their traditions, their cultures, and just the Zulu tribe as a whole. And your biggest comeback is the fact that our Miss South Africa is white. As if we've never had a black Miss South Africa, who also became Miss Universe, by the way, with natural hair, just throwing it out there. You guys are the same people that go on about how black culture in America set the precedence for whatever, so many different things. However, the biggest movie that has a black superhero, Black Panther, and I'm wearing my Wakanda Forever jersey, get your life, is literally a ripoff of African culture. I don't see T'Challa and Shuri crip walking while saving the universe. Bayateti Kosa though. They listen to South African music. I'm just saying. And we see the comments. We see the comments about how some black Americans are mocking us, saying we don't have food, water, electricity. Doesn't South Africa export a shit ton of food and wine to America? In essence, we feed you bitches. I'm just saying. You're messing with children of the soil. We are kissed by the sun every day. You're messing with a country where two oceans meet. We don't need to spit in a test tube to find out where we come from. We know where our ancestors lie. We are not the same. Your president is a failed reality star and businessman, and while he's starting frivolous trade wars with China, ours took the time to go to the International Court of Justice to fight for the freedom of Palestine. It's that RSA DNA, something you will never know about. Lastly, on behalf of Zulu people, on behalf of South Africans as a whole, Futek.
I'm Zulu. I woke up like this. Just like your famous songstress always says, I woke up like this. I woke up Zulu. I am Zulu. I'm from the Zulu nation. I thought I'll come forth and help educate some of the black Americans regarding the Zulu culture so that we can squash this beef that's developing. And let's set a few records straight. As the Zulu people, we are not against the Zulu parade. We understand how it started. It was inspired by a Zulu play that certain gentlemen saw in 1909. Then they used the name Zulu to start the Zulu parade. We've got no problem with that. We do understand that it's got history, a painful history that you guys went through. We also appreciate that you decided to use the name Zulu to form your organization so that you can be able to start the movement that has been in existence since 1909. So it basically means you've been in existence for 116 years. Just a few facts about the Zulu nation. The Zulu nation has been around for about 209 years. We are the biggest nation in South Africa. We have the most spoken language in South Africa. We are an 18 million strong nation that was built by King Shaka Zulu, who started the Zulu nation. We pride ourselves for being Zulu. We love our language. And the reason why the Zulu nation is famous the world over is because of our history and the wars that the Zulu nation fought. We appreciate that you guys find it important to use the Zulu word in your organization. However, the problem that we have is that it's the misappropriation of culture. When you want to use the name Zulu, you need to correct the culture, or you need to correct the depiction of the Zulu culture. In the Zulu parade, there is nothing that talks of Zulu. There is nothing that showcases the Zulu culture. I've watched the videos and nothing showcases the Zulu culture. Now you must understand, being Zulu is not an event for us. We were born Zulu. We live the culture. We pride ourselves for being Zulu. That is why there's so much noise. We've got nothing against what you are doing. You have every right to celebrate your history, to celebrate your past. And I must say, it is a good movement. What we want to do is to correct the miseducation, the misappropriation, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So you can't then come and tell us, people who are Zulu, that we don't understand. We may not understand the parade itself, but we understand what Zulu means because we are Zulu. Being Zulu is not a one-day event. We were born Zulu. I'm a descendant of the Zulu king named Zulu, who gave birth to Makeba. And Makeba gave birth to Ndaba, and Ndaba gave birth to my forefathers. So we will take issue with that, because for us, it's not just a name. And Zulu is a brand worldwide. That is why we are respected and feared in some corners of the world, because of our history. So if you want to do things right, do them correct, and also be teachable. I think it's important now that we can be able to get to talk to each other through social media. You can be able to access history about the Zulus. So it's important that you now correct the misconceptions that you had. We understand in 1909, you had very little information regarding the Zulu people, except maybe Shaka Zulu, or that the Zulus conquered the British, the Redcoats. The only army outside of Europe and anywhere else who defeated the Redcoats of the British. That is why even today it's painful to the British that an army of black people in hides and spears defeated the British Redcoats. I come from that little town. That is why it's important that we correct you and be teachable. Thank you. We love you. We want to be one with you. We want to exchange cultural experiences, but you must listen to the people who live that life. Thank you.